I believe this is the signal. I believe this is the signal flare. You're watching CEVO TV. I'm Cotton. My partner is Klops. Earlier, you saw I by Power face off against Manajuma in a 16-13 present of a game. Really, really good one. We hope for another one in our second leg of the doubleheader. This is CompLexity versus Manajuma. The home team starts on CT. They have elected to at least. And they're about to get underway. Our prediction from the expert is 16-12. I have to concur. That feels about right, but I'm also hoping, against all hopes, that it's just going to be an overtime one for the ages. Armor is the choice for the counter-terrorists. Armor is the choice for the terrorists. No fancy footwork here. No nades to be dodged. Everyone's just going to be shooting, with the exception of Sean Gears. Here's the first engagement. Deborn cleaves Sempis. No chance to even get a shot off. They're going to chase Hiko, who drops down. He'll retreat down to the lower bomb site to hold and try to solidify this bomb site with somebody coming down from the vent. That'll be Anger. Long distance. Hello, Icy. Registers 1 kill. Anger is dropped. Hiko fights for his life. Trades 1 before going down. This roster, Manajuma's roster, cannot be questioned. It's very strong. It's just a matter of, does it translate to wins? Well, this is a pistol round win, unless Sean Gears does something utterly remarkable, miraculous. I feel like he won't, so I'm going to call this one a win.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough for him to try to clutch 1 versus 4, and he knows it. And look at him. He's like, hey, I got an incendiary grenade. That's a lot of cash. I think maybe I'll try to hold on to that.
I'm just going to inspect my pistol over here.
Yeah, just check out this nice Ocean Foam P2000. But yeah, I mean, this is a big round for... Ooh, wait.
They saw him. That strafe jump. Shroud comes in with burst fire, brings down Sean Gears. That burst fire is really tragically nerfed. It needs to be a little bit stronger.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember doing the, 2-tap and then switch to burst and hit the burst and try to get the 3. So you get like 5 bullets all in the same spot.
Wait, you're telling me your 2-tap weren't 2 headshots?
Huh? Yeah. What? No, but never mind. Whatever. Anyways, big round for Manajuma right there, getting the pistol round on Nuke. Always important, and, I mean, that's going to, propel him into a good lead here. And depending on whether or not CompLexity can, come up with an eco round, it's really going to determine how far Manajuma is going to go with this momentum of having the superior guns here going into these next couple of rounds.
Urakanji does his little air wiggle to get on top of the marshmallow or the big rock, and he finds nobody there. They're back at the CT red and the CT big garage. It's a slow hold. It's a passive look for Manajuma, who's quite paranoid that CompLexity will be pushing them to try to wrest a gun away from them, and Sempis will be the first one to find Deborn. No shots registered, not until the second peak, where Hiko makes up for Sempis's miss. Double on the trade, triple now. Nothing is down. Anger and Sean Gears are left fighting Urakanji and Outer at the T-red. Those shots are hitting right now. That finally falls. Urakanji goes down, and if they do the math, if they count how many people they saw at ramp, Sean Gears can actually go get this gun. Well, if Icy lets him. Icy can't control his AK, lets Sean Gears walk away with 14 HP. He'll pick up a P90, which is not exactly the greatest of tools, and they'll find Anger. So he's spotted both players. Now all of Manajuma knows exactly where CompLexity is. I don't
think they know where Gears is, because Gears kind of ran back, and I think maybe whoever was on the heaven area thinks that Anger
certainly
is the same person. So
right. That's a good correction. I guess what I was implying is they know the directions that they could come from. What we know now is that Cole is going to use this P90 next round, and of course Anger is going to use his 5.7 next round. Shroud did this last time, hopping everywhere, and he's going to beat Anger's 5.7. 2 rounds, you're going to want 3, because it's a tough sled for the terrorist side, and Manajuma feels pretty good right now.
Yeah, I mean, they did give up P90 and a couple kills there, but not too big of a deal. And they're going to give that to Nothing, who I believe, like we said, is playing Inner, so we'll see what he does with that. And they aren't going to go for any type of buy because they want to be able to save and try to get their, regain their footing on CT side on the main gun round and try to, just reclaim the momentum and keep the ones going for them, but it's going to be tough.
What I'd like to see next round is how this offense starts to take shape. What exactly they'll be emphasizing. Manajuma will be emphasizing against CompLexity, using the ramp against them, because Sempis has had a couple of rough shots lately. Maybe they'll try to go for ISO picks there. Maybe they'll try to smoke wall the outer. Maybe they'll go with a variety of ways to take Inner with Skyflash, rushes, squeaky door charges. It's all up in the air right now. This round is going to be sort of a smorgasbord of options. Just make it up as you go, or run into the teeth of CompLexity's hold. This could be disaster for anyone who steps out of the door now. Checks the corner, no one's there. Probably will double peek. Comes out to the left, and Sempis got him that time. Deborn's down. Shroud will trade. Even on the trade for the exchange thus far. Almost a TK again for Urakanji. He shot his teammate right in the posterior. Anger's on the flank. On top of the control panel. can't hit his AD shots. 2 left for the counter-terrorist, and they're both below the T's. Sean Gares charges. YOLO charges. So does Hiko. They're going to walk away with a kill here, or 2 if Hiko can keep this roll up. 1-on-2 is a very winnable situation with the 5-7 at that distance. Shroud doesn't want to see it happen. Is he going to try to dive for that bomb, or is he going to try to force Hiko out? No kills there. Manajuma 3, CompLexity 0.
I mean, that honestly could have ended up being a win for CompLexity because nothing had that P90 that they got from the previous round, and he was stacked in the ramp, so I mean, that was really dangerous for Manajuma to be going to ramp, and obviously they had no idea that CompLexity was doing a 3-man stack there, so, you know,
look at this.
Bad luck for them, but what do we do?
CompLexity had so few kills, and they bought luxury sidearms in the first 2 rounds that they can't afford an op on this. Do they want one? We don't know. We can't possibly know that.
If Gares wanted it, I think he probably would have just done the pistol saves all the way through. I doubt he would have been upgrading too hard.
Perhaps not. It's a ramp hold again, and they're waiting for that smoke to dissipate. We wonder if this is the game plan. We just talked about this last round. Is this what they're trying to do? Nothing steps through the squeaky door, doesn't get a kill, actually just kind of brushes Shroud for 30 and Irakanji for a little bit more. He walks back out, gathered some information at least, and he'll drop out. Now the smoke in the eyes of the T's will make it a non-committal effort. Sean Gares underneath, Irakanji waiting, gets that kill, comes back and finds that player who dropped down. It's a good start for CompLexity. They certainly need to win this one to sway the momentum back, as you do need as many rounds as you can get here. Crossfire from the yellow and the bottom of the ramp. Semphis and Hiko. Semphis having a hard time controlling his M4A1, loses it to IC 3-4 on the split. Now it's going to be 2 versus 3. Deborn and Shroud versus the remainder of CompLexity, who's made up of Sean Gares, Anger, and Nothing. 40 seconds remain on the clock. And Deborn looks like he wants to ascend and ambush people. Know that the bomb is with Shroud. He's traveling by himself, and he's very cautious. He's out in a space where he cannot be confident about where he's going. He needs his team to scout for him, his team being Deborn, to figure out whether he can go, you know?
Yeah, and Deborn is in those vents letting him know, hey, they're clear, and maybe I could sit back here and wait for a drop if you go try to plant the bomb. But they are, the longer they take, I mean, Gares is flanking him from right now, so...
There's the one. Deborn's trap is sprung. Now he's, wow. One tap. Shroud says hello to Sean Gares. Never had a chance. Anger's the last. This could be a 4-0 if Anger can't clutch this one. One behind the silo, jumps back in the vent. Deborn is now no longer back behind the vent, actually by the staircase near the double doors. If you can see the feet of Shroud, he turns it into a 1-on-1. Could go for the committed defuse right now. He's going to get sprayed down and put off the bomb. Deborn has... shoot him away. They were both blind. He shoot him away literally with just a couple of bullets.
Yeah, I mean, Anger, he couldn't commit to that because obviously Deborn didn't get flashed right there and he would have been killed. So he tried to do it, but the flash just didn't do its job. So he had to get off that and he ended up saving his weapon. But I mean, look at this CompLexity actually going for force buy here. So this is going to be a big round because I think Manajuma should suspect that they're going to be saving here.
Well, you be the expert and tell me, is this an appropriate round to do it? Because
They did get a lot of trades, so I mean, if Manajuma was smart about the economy, then they would figure, hey, CompLexity might try to pull out a buy here, so we need to be careful. And it does look like that's what they're doing. They're not going for any type of full-out rush here, and it just shows, I mean, even if they weren't on a force buy, they are still respecting CompLexity's ability to eco.
Very, very careful positioning here. Not making an attempt to push, because clearly they don't want to surrender the information that they have weapons. Manajuma is playing so slow at this point, thinking that something is a bit off here. On an eco round, we'd probably see someone try to gather some information. Right now, we've heard nothing. It's time to be suspicious. They line up potentially for the intertake. Flashes out. Miniker's out in open space, completely blind, spraying the wall, finds nothing, still gets a kill. Anger finds one before... Actually, that's Semphis who gets traded. 3-2, and the surprise is sprung. It has worked out. 1 versus 3. Icy, the one who was troubled in the last game, now has his second attempt at redemption. First kill is good. Sean Gares is down. He has the bomb, so he has a chance with 45 seconds remaining. He'll have to go for this defuse. That was probably the wrong decision. That'll probably be the only chance he gets at it. One flash out, one done. Never mind. The combined firepower of Anger and Sean Gares will do the job. CompLexity puts up the first round. It looks like you were right. It looks like they were right. It looks like you were right.
It was actually a pretty decent chance right there to go for the fake bomb plant because he did have them force. He forced the CTs to come to him, and if he would have just hit his shots, then he could have actually got the clutch right there. But either way, but yeah, you know, CompLexity coming out with the force buy and kind of doing it again, even though they won that round. I mean, Sunfist and Anger both having swag 7s right here, so the money is still tight for CompLexity, even though they did get that win.
Another lobby hold. It's not part of Manajuma's operational decree to use Outer. Not at all this game. They'll need a trade here unless they're going to let Nothing walk away with that murder. He does. He makes it back out to the floor. Know that we talked about Nothing playing only this spot. He plays this silo, pushes in and out of the hut. There's not a whole lot of variation to it. And if Manajuma figures that out, that could be a weakness, depending on how good Anger is at supporting his new teammate. That sort of chemistry may be a deciding factor.
Yeah, it definitely is, and you know, we'll see as this match progresses whether or not that's going to be an issue. But you said Manajuma not really doing a primary focus on Outer. It's true. Mainly, they're usually sending one person over to the Twinkie or the Big Rock and just having them scout out for a kill, see if they can get something going. Oh, the push from Sunfist!
Sunfist wants a triple. Deborn still blind. Picks up the third. All headshots at the bank. 7. And Urakanji is one who's trying to save the round. He can't. That final kill's another swag kill by Anger. That was an absolute demolition derby.
Wow, that's so funny. I was on his viewpoint, and I was doing my analysis, and then I didn't realize what was happening until he got that first kill, and I was like, oh my god.
It's funny because we pointed out, like, they're still weak on their buy. They have swags, but pretty much every kill that round was swag.
Yeah, and obviously Manajuma forced into another eco round, so I mean, CompLexity, if they could just keep this momentum going, get this round, they should be in a good place to, you know, take the lead back.
That A does terrible damage. Oh, never mind. I was going to say a quad there, but Shroud stops the joy. No joy for him. Nothing will clean up for a double. That's an easy eco round to get rid of. Throwaway eco rounds on Nuke are fairly common, and throwaway ramp rounds are probably the most common, and you're not going to get away with it, not against CompLexity.
Yeah, and ramp rounds are like, you're just trying to die, in my opinion. You're not even trying to get the bomb down. But, yeah, not my favorite play for an eco round on T side. Either way, they do the throwaway round, and now they could buy, so we'll see what they have in store. It's going to be Urakanji going up onto the roof, and probably the Twinkie once again. Scout out Outer.
Yeah, I think you were about to suggest this, that they're setting up for the Sky Flash and the Squeaky Flash. Sean Gare is just one-tapping through the smoke. They're trying to drop into the vent and wrap toward the ramp. Those two players who were trying to jump into the vent, they all got one-tapped from Outer, and the odds of that happening, well, it's rare at any other level, but when you're aiming perfectly at the head like that, that's going to blow up your plant. Still, Manajuma has 3 alive. Minikur, Shroud, and Icy. They've figured out that their plan... Oh, Anger! Jumping, rainbowing across. Minikur just gets destroyed, and he'll drop back. 2 alive. Still...
Nothing toxic, by the way.
Yeah, nothing isn't toxic. We did pan to that. I want to say something about him. I want something I want him to have an opportunity to do something. I meant to say. And Shroud may give him that choice. He may give him the joy. They're going to go back to upper. You can tell that they want to double up on this ladder and go upper. Nope. With so much time remaining, these guys are just thinking about whether or not they can get away with this. Does Nothing pop the door?
The fake Shroud. Shroud got it.
He got it. He absolutely got it. He caught it. He got the information. Now they've got to figure out whether or not they can actually plant this bomb with 30 seconds remaining, because they may have just spoiled their opportunity. Plant that. Let Nothing be the lurk. Sean Gares has pinned all of the players, including Icy, who he killed, and picks up a double. Look at that. That's a quad on the round for him. 2 early on, then 2 late, and he's got a tied-up game for his team, 4-4.
So first, about that round, I mean, Nothing opening the door right there actually wasn't that bad, because even though he gave away his position, it made them force one of the T players to look at Toxic, and as you saw, Sean Gares came down ramp and got a clean shot on him. It was an easy kill while Shroud tried to plant the bomb. But honestly, I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed in Manajuma, because this looks like a throwaway eco round towards upper.
Could be, but with CZs, you never know. 2 kills on the trade. Nothing picked up 2. Sempis trying to spam through the smoke. You don't have enough bullets for that. Still on the last bullet. Picks up 1 kill. Looks for the second. Gets one with his P2000.
So, yeah, like I wanted to say, Manajuma got the 4 out early, and they had the money advantage. They were in control of Complexity's economy, and basically Sean Gares was without an op for the past 10 rounds. And had they just taken advantage of that and pushed outer, they probably would have been able to have success out there, because Sean Gares without an op, I mean, he's still strong with the autos, but I mean, obviously, I'd a little bit more fearful with the op outer, especially. He should have been an easy target to take advantage of.
We have a speed intertake, this time with guns. Anger's behind the silo, and they've slowed up. I should say that Manajuma has slowed up just a tad, and that could have been their undoing. Still, they're looking pretty good. Never mind, 3-2. They'll plant the bomb, and it's going to be Sean Gares and Hiko who are charged with the dual retake. Hiko's still lingering on the ladder, trying not to come up, trying not to show the crown of his head and get himself killed. Too late. Too late for that. One alive, it's Sean Gares. He's got one in the hut, one behind the silo. Doesn't even matter. Miniker cleans him up. It's still tied on this map. Tied means advantage teams.
It does. 5 rounds is very good T-side. But you mentioned that Manajuma did slow down on that rush, and I think it's because they threw out some extra nades there, some extra flashes, and it actually helped them out because they were playing 2 people down on the floor and then 1 person up in heaven. And if you noticed, both people behind the silo were actually flashed, and they couldn't help defend at all, and they dropped pretty much instantaneously. And then that was left it for everyone else on the floor to just point up towards heaven and pick up that guy as well.
Note that this is a pretty purposeful game plan here. When they keep challenging the floor players of Complexity, they've found a personnel matchup that they like. There are the trades 2-1, and that's Hiko and Semphis who are down. 4 alive for the T's, and they've not yet committed to going back. Instead, they'll drop down to lower and try to plant the bomb here. Know that Anger's in the smoke up in the control room. And Sean Gares is behind the double doors already. It's not going to be a safe bomb plan. Not if D-Born steps out. Has a blind player behind him. Actually could have picked up a double, but Irakanji will have to clean up after him. No bomb plant still. Our last is Nothing, who we will now follow. The number 5 man sees one behind the silo. Can't connect the headshot. Would have loved to have. Still, does a bit of damage. And Irakanji will charge him with his back to him. That is extremely dangerous. Only 18 HP. Unlikely that Nothing picks this up. He doesn't. Miniker seems to be that final executioner every single round. He picks up that last kill every single round.
Yeah, I mean, he really does. But, I mean, onto that round that we just saw, Complexity decided to go with a pretty aggressive push there from the ramp room, and really they paid the price. I mean, it was smoked off, and they decided to push through the smoke anyways, and they traded out 1 kill for 2, which honestly is not a very good trade, so that just gave Manajuma the advantage. Now Manajuma is sitting at 6 rounds T-side, which is huge for them. I mean, they got to be feeling really good about this game so far.
Still, no feelings of mission accomplished, not against a team as talented as Complexity. I see a Hiko with the swag, and this could be disaster, D-Born. No, fast, while moving. By the way, D-Born hit a headshot without stopping his feet. That's remarkable, and still, I think Hiko feels a bit robbed. I think Anger was spotted. Still gets a kill, might get a second, looks for one, probably tries to peek out, and Shroud just won't let it happen. 3 alive, and given the circumstances of how poorly the ramp was held, I think they'll take those trades. Sean Gares has an op, and it's weird that this buy was part swags and op and M4A1. I think this was a misbuy or a miscommunication, or if it was purposeful, it's very risky that in that case.
Yeah, I mean, it was purposeful, I believe, because I think that they feel that since they're playing the up-close engagement points at ramp, that they could get away with using swags, and you kind of can, but, I mean, it is still risky regardless, so...
Would have liked
especially since they've been, you know, most of this game they've been emphasizing taking ramp and inner, so...
Agreed. They kind of know that Sean Gares is not one to push them outer and try to make the big play flanking. And if he does one of these times, clearly he's going to get some huge plays out of Manajuma, who's just not respecting outer much at all. But yeah, you're right. Close encounter points, the ramp, it makes sense, especially given the tendencies of Manajuma to use ramp. 1 alive, that's Sean Gares. He's our number 2. We'll go to him now. He's walking around with his knife out, which is inadvisable at most times.
Yeah, he wants to save this op. I mean, that's a big buy for him, and for it to completely go to waste from that forced buy of a round, I mean, that would just be a terrible, terrible thing.
Let's take a look at the money situation for Complexity. Literally 2 players sitting at 0. The next from the lowest is Nothing, sitting at $50. This is an uncomfortable position to be in because, you know, extrapolate, this is a loss next round, most likely, and that's going to be 8-5, and then you have to contend with the situation of surrendering 9, realistically, the next time you have guns.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously 7 is more than you want to have, more than what you want to see for a Terra side if you're starting on the CT side. So I mean, they're already in a bad spot as it is, and if they pick up this round, like you said, 8-5, then the hole is just going to be really hard to climb out of for CompLexity when they switch halves.
These buys are beginning to confuse me. An Op, a Nova, a CZ, a 5.7, and a P250. Still no armors with the exception of Sean Gares, who saved his weapon, steps up through the ramp, did the unexpected thing. He gets a kill. Nothing coming across, dinks Miniker and drops him with a second shot to the chest. If he can pick that gun up, the tone of this round suddenly changes drastically. Irakanji's on the far flank and Anger can't possibly know. One tap for him, comes back around. Though the players have pushed into lobby, they've surrendered a lot of real estate here. Now Sean Gares has to know that people are behind him. Icy's holding in case people push out. Sprays one down. That's Sempis. He'll drop out to play it safe, holding for his teammates to make it down to the lower bomb site. And he's played this correctly. The threat of him being behind is holding them here such that they cannot make it flick for Irakanji. 1-1 trade, nothing. Gets Deborn. Irakanji gets Hiko. And Sean Gares could hit that jumping shot. Now, Irakanji has the dubious task of trying to do the same thing and run back across against that op. He waits for the smoke to pop, and then we'll try to dive for that bomb. If Icy walks into that smoke, he's a bit cautious, so he lets his teammate flash him in. They'll recover the bomb with 40 seconds left, and they'll go for the plant. Now, the 2 counter-terrorist players remaining, one happens to be on top of this raptor.
Huge heads-up play there by nothing to go up to the rafters and give it up to Sean Gares to defend the bomb. And then once they got into the squeaky and he saw the smoke come down, he knew he could just go back off the ramp and that nothing would be up top in the rafters to watch that. And they had both bomb sets covered from there on out.
A long series of fantastic plays for CompLexity. First, Sean Gares swapping his position to play ramp because he's kind of been a non-factor at outer, and then nothing charging through the squeaky to hit people who were looking at Sean Gares. Really a nice coordinated effort that paid off for them. It was really necessary. Sky flashes in and smokes to smoke the exits of the ramp. We have nobody down lower. Nothing finds Deborn just idly finding his spacing. It falls down from the ladder. Irony strikes, and now they'll go for the ramp. They know that one is at the curl. They've traded 2-2. 2 alive for the terrorist. Miniker and Irakanji still waiting, and they're trying to find Anger, who is lower. Irakanji gets taken out. 1 alive. That's Miniker with the bomb. He's our number 6 back at the radio. His chances, Clay, are pretty bad, and he's fine with it because they can buy probably next round. Think about the math here. If you have 37-24 and the round ends without a bomb plant, you're on the outskirts of buying.
I don't think they'll be able to
You don't
buy.
think they're the type to force?
No, I think they'll have to go for a save. And it's going to be last round, next round, so of course they're going to buy.
Our maths.
Yeah. Our maths are bad.
He's going to go for this plant, too. He's going to walk right out of hut, and he's going to find Sean Gares waiting for him up in the rafters on the far side, the opposite side, if you like to call it. 1 shot, no good. Did tag him, just not fast enough to beat the op. 7-7, Manajuma has had the lead, and CompLexity comes up the rear to tie.
Yeah, if he would have got that bomb down, that would have been so much of a help for these guys buying out for this last round. We see only 2 AKs, head armor all around, and then 3 pistols being picked up here. Icy actually, no, he's got head armor too. So yeah, I doubt Manajuma will be able to pull this round off. But either way, 7 rounds T side. I mean, that's a good T half. That's
job well done.
Actually, so.
They're going to set up for the intake. A smoke will extinguish the fire. Sean Gares realizes his error, runs right back toward where he was. He's like, guys, you guys still alive? Please still be alive. And Deborn, well, he capitalizes on the fact that no one was there to support Anger. And the shot is missed by Sempis. Oh, but the nade cleans up and makes up for any errors. All hard feelings are wiped away. It's back to 0. 4-4, both teams. Irakanji comes up the ladder. You got to get off the ladder, friend. He cannot get that shot off because of his inaccuracy. Sempis is in the hut, still charging his teammate, or excuse me, his opponents. 2 versus 3, and that nade does a little bit of damage. Just sails a little bit past Icy. Nothing, step through, finds the double, ends the half. You're watching CEVO-TV. I'm Cotton, my partner is Collapse, and you've got a very close game that we didn't necessarily see coming. Good half, I think.
Yeah, it was a very good half, especially for Manajuma getting 7 rounds on the T side when it's a heavy CT side map. I mean, that's huge for those guys. So they now are sitting in a good spot. All they got to do is pretty much win this pistol round, and they should be set to hopefully secure this game. I'm talking about Manajuma, that is. But also, if CompLexity gets the pistol round, then they should be in a good spot as well to, well, not in that great of a spot since they did only get 8 rounds, but they should be, I mean, pistol round should put them in a good position to, you know, assert the dominance and keep it going.
Yeah, intriguing set of purchases here. A couple have armor, but for CompLexity, they have Smoke Flash and Smoke Flash Nade. Now things down early with D-Born's one tap through the radio. He found him trying to hug that right wall. If you just fire through the smoke, Miniker, you've got a kill here. Sempis gets one. D-Born will trade, look for another. Miniker's literally hugging Sean Gares. 2 alive in this site. Miniker, what? Fires a random burst shot, gets angry, drops him with the headshot. Round ends. No pistol for CompLexity. What did I just see?
Oh man, that was it was funny because you're like, Miniker, just fire through the smoke, you'll get a shot, and you're like, Miniker, you know, kind of messing up a little bit, and then he pulls off an amazing flick shot, and I think that was actually a burst fire shot, which was pretty freaking huge.
Sometimes there's no analysis to be made. You just, what?
Yeah, that was such a great shot, and I mean, wow, it got them the round right there. Nice hold on the ramp. It's completely stopped CompLexity, and now CompLexity's in the danger zone.
Danger zone indeed. So you're in a position where you go down here, and you're on the harder side. You're gonna have to get a bomb plant to be able to get that third round by. Miniker needs to get this Bombus recoil down. Finally gets it. Sempis goes down. He needs to support his teammate. Icy steps out from the mini. It's a rapid outer, which is the unpredictable thing to do with sidearms, and it seemed to have caught some of the Manajuma players off guard. But now that they've regathered their composure, this is just a clean wipe. No. Well, 1 forced rebuys, mostly not, and that's not really mission accomplished.
Yeah, and that's not going to be enough money to get CompLexity to do a third round buy here. They're going to have to save once again, and we do see the CZs are being picked up, maybe some P250s as well. You know, they tried ramp first round, they tried outer second round, and they've been kind of rushes, so I'm wondering if they're going to just maybe try to do a throwaway upper and see how that goes, but we'll see.
Well, we will see.
Garrus has a smoke and a flash, and nothing as a flash, so we might see a the flash strat here, inner flash.
Yeah, I think the sky flash is coming. You can kind of see him posturing himself, looking at the sky lights. 1 flash and a single smoke. I get it, like for Heaven and maybe flash the guy at Mustang and the rafters. At this level, it's not enough. You need 2, right? You're gonna have
nothing has one.
Well, nothing has one, but that one's probably for the floor, don't you think?
Yeah, most likely. Or maybe it's a fake sky flash strat, and then they're gonna
That's
get
what I was
there
getting at. There's so little here that you have to think that this is just a fake, and they're going to come out ramp this time. Miniker's spraying the smoke, thinking that somebody might be there, but now he's paranoid about people being behind him, and he's guessed right the second time. Nothing's below him at Hell. They need a 1D. CompLexity does, and Sempis doesn't deliver. D-Born spraying through, trying to pierce that frame, that door frame. Not good there, but good on the second time around. Miniker picks up nothing. There's one more in the doorway to his left and right, and Sempis goes down thanks to compliments of Shroud. 10 for Manajuma.
Garrus did end up getting that deagle kill onto Icy, but it just wasn't the one dig he was looking for. Either way, I mean, that's 3 in a row for Manajuma, and they are on the easier side here. So if they stop CompLexity here on this buy round, they should be able to, you know, keep the momentum going. That's going to force CompLexity into a save, and they should be able to keep this going into a win here. So, I mean, this is a big round for Manajuma coming up, or right now, actually.
Certainly is. Interesting that they haven't gone to the final tier of weaponry. With FAMAS's, they plan to challenge long-range AKs, and we know CompLexity is not afraid to challenge people at outer. That's a fight that's hard to win against an AK, that's certain.
Look at Shroud and Irakanji still holding FAMAS's. I'm really surprised that they didn't upgrade to the next tier of weaponry.
Yeah, that's what we just covered. Flash in. Sky flashes through and will come out the hut. Maybe. They're taking their time. Ice is on top of the hut, finds 2, looking every which way on a swivel, and does his job. A triple there, maybe a quad, has it. Only 1 kill for CompLexity, and their offense suddenly just floundered.
Well, they attempted to do the sky flash this time, which I don't know if that was a great idea to do it since you just tried to fake it in the previous round. But either way, you know, it was a failed round, and now they're going to have to save again. They did have some money where they could have probably forced spot, but, you know, not the best thing to do on Nuke since you need your utility nades to get things done. And so they're going to be saving. And now Manajuma has a chance to just increase the lead that much further.
Cole needs something here, and they've They don't have a ton of options unless Anger comes out here and gets a CZ kill. He's stalked out outer. Icy's still spamming the hut, comes around, finding Anger, trying to bring down Shroud on top of the hut. And a long distance Famas kill will do Semphis in. This round doesn't look so good for Complexity right now. Last one alive is Hiko. He's got his P250 charging. The back silo's no good there. Somewhat of a throwaway eco round. Manajuma's closing in. They're starting to put up those numbers that look like you can't come back from.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the scores here. Icy, 20 and 13. Shroud, 18 and 13. Miniker, 13-12. Derek, D-Born, 14 and 14. So Icy, the person who was struggling in the last game, he's really gotten it together for this one. He's doing a good job now. He's actually putting kills down and making plays. So he's doing a good job for Manajuma.
Clear set piece for Sean Gares. This one probably intended for the garage or the mini. A flash over to get his teammate some vision. Irakanji's in that smoke behind that box looking to ambush the players of Complexity. He may just because nobody checked. He may just because nobody checked. Counter-Strike 101, guys. 3 alive for Complexity. They've lost 2 at outer. Semphis and Sean Gares tried to challenge the smoke and be a little sneaky. They have lost their lives. Hiko, Anger, and nothing now. They will challenge the ramp. They'll go out into the ramp space while all of the counter-terrorist team is still... look at the 1.6 spam through the door. They tag Hiko just a little bit. He's down to 76 HP, and Miniker is waiting for Toes. That's exactly what he's waiting for. Toes! He misses the shot. Nothing comes up just too fast. A double peek on both sides of the door frame will bring down Miniker, who is just a bit confused as to who to shoot. It's a good trade. They've almost evened it up. They need one more. D-Born is in control. Not necessarily in control of the phrase, but literally in the control room. 2-man take on the site. They need to leave one back here for the flank, and you'll certainly see Cole probably leave one back here unless D-Born blows one away. Then they both have to come down into the site. He'll open that double door, make it a little bit suspicious as to where he's going to come out from, and then he'll find Anger waiting for him, who takes him down. 1 alive for the Complexity squad. It's nothing versus 3. 2 in the hut, turns on Irakanji, and fell for the trap. Shroud was waiting to do the second peek. 13-8.
Yep. So Complexity, even though they've been losing, they do have that losing bonus, so they are able to full buy here. And like you said, they pushed through. Semphis and Gares decided to try to push through the smoke. Probably not the best idea when you're behind, and you need to try to play it safe to catch up. But either way, that's what they did. They got punished for it, and gave Manajuma the momentum in that round.
So our Preds are incorrect. I mean, they look incorrect, and it's looking very grim for Complexity. Now it's just a matter of emotional tiding over. You need to make sure that your composure is still intact, especially against a team that's ready to win like this. Miniker's down in heaven. 2 alive for the counter-terrorists, 4 for the Complexity squad. They look pretty good this round, however. They've got 1 coming from ramp. They've got 1 outside, and I think with the situation as it is, with this many players alive, it's going to be a save. They have no reason not to.
Yeah, I mean, Complexity decided to go with the speed aggression here, upper, and it worked out perfectly for them. They got the 3 kills of the 3 people defending upper A, and yeah, they're just holding on to it now. And you're Kanji picking up 1, trying to get 2, cannot convert the second one, but they do force 3 rebuys there, so not too bad. Ultimate Lulu losing the round though. Good and bad thing for Complexity because that's going to reset their losing bonus, and if Manajuma just stops them here, they'll probably have to save again. So,
how do you think the chances are that Complexity goes back to the speed play? Right, the change of pace seemed to have thrown Manajuma off their game just for 1 round. Is it enough to consistently generate wins?
I don't think so. I think Manajuma is probably going to be aware of it now and be sort of looking for it. And if you see the mini-map right now, Complexity looks like they're setting up for a Sky Flash. But, wow.
Maybe it's not even needed.
Yeah.
Anger blows open a hole and a triple. Minicur goes down, and they've got their purchased foothold into the lower bomb site. But Icy sort of evens it up, blows a vent open, and realizes he was caught in open space, goes up the ladder to save himself. 2 alive for Manajuma, and this situation looks much better than it did a couple of seconds ago when Anger was on such a tear. Bomb plant is not down yet. Anger has a quad in the making, and maybe an ace if nothing, we'll just let it happen. Our last one alive is Shroud. We go to him now. Oh, God, he almost got decapitated. Our number 8 comes out the back vent, and he'll challenge Anger. Guess what? Here's your chance, buddy. Here is your worthiness. No good.
Oh.
Shroud gets him, and the crowd is deflated.
And right now, Shroud's thinking mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. No ace.
No ace for Anger.
13 to 10. If any team can accomplish this comeback, it's going to be this one. CompLexity is very good. It's just that the economy needs to be supported. They need to be able to buffer at least one loss. They're not quite there yet. To announce the comeback, they need this round.
Yes, exactly. Because, I mean, they still are in the danger zone of being forced to save if they lose. But if they get this one, they should be able to have a decent bank built up.
You see Hiko trying to boost nobody?
Yeah.
What was that?
I don't know. Maybe miscommunication.
1-1 trade. Anger will bring down Irakanji after the push out to the red, and Shroud will take his position, well, virtually take his position from the secret. If he can just jump out right now, there's the attempt, and he misses his chance. Anger walks away, oh no! Just barely scathed, and Shroud just sighs a huge sigh of relief, hoping that nobody saw that, but guess what? Everybody saw it. Steps back out, and making the double peek at this level is something that needs to be considered very, very risky. It's just so hard to do. Peeks at his own flash, comes up for a third time. Sempus was waiting that time. He gets the nice close haircut. There's another trade. D-Born brings him down, checks the top of the mini. No one there. 3 alive for both teams. They're focusing on the ramp this time. Miniker, well, he got picked on that last time, though. He was looking for feet. They got the double peek. They'll go lower. Smoke the site, maybe charge for the suicide plant. And they'll look for D-Born, who is waiting for them in the control. Also Icy, who is in the vent. They need to rotate down, and they need an early kill to make this a possible retake. There it is. Miniker delivers. One underneath him that Icy could have gotten with the nade will definitely kill. There it is. 1 versus 2. Hiko must clutch from the top of the ramp. Really the hardest position you can clutch from in Nuke. First shot, no good. Wildly loses control of his AK, but I know that was purposeful, but the defuse is not real. He's still fighting, loses the fight. Miniker, that final executioner, as he's been all game, guarantees this round's win. Manajuma pulls up to the tie point.
Yeah, I mean, and CompLexity did get quite a few kills there, but looking at their money, oh man, they're gonna force. Yeah. They are going to go for the force. I mean, if they went for the save, the Manajuma probably would have been on the match point here, and it would have been most likely a loss for CompLexity. So they think that they need to go for the force and just completely take control of this game from here on out and pretty much win.
With this jumble of gun and gears, I would like to see speed, right? Where you can just overwhelm people. It doesn't really matter what your guns are. They're going to do it. They're going to come right out of the ramp, and Shroud is blind. He's looking down below him, has no idea where people are. Still hasn't identified people underneath him, and manages to let his teammate die and get himself killed. That was a misplay by him. Still, D-Born wants to clean up the mistakes. 2 versus 2. Sempus and Sean Gares versus Miniker and Irakanji. That really, really hurt Sean Gares. Excuse me, Sempus. There's the tag. Irakanji finishes the job. 1 versus 2. And to stave off the tie, Sean Gares must clutch.
No weapon for Gares.
No way is this possible. But if he does, we go nuts. He's looking back at the ramp. Nobody's coming from that direction. It's going to be a long P250 shot. And a in-smoke diffuse. Just hit this shot, Sean. No good. It's going to be 15-10. Manajuma is on the game point.
Yeah, I mean, that could have been disastrous because, like you saw, Shroud, he got flashed and then he backed up into that corner in rafters and he missed 2 people come out of the main hut door. And he did pick up 1 kill from the squeaky door, but, I mean, he was really ineffective for that round for the most part. And I mean, they got control of upper, decided to drop the bomb lower, and they just couldn't hold on to their players and defend the site. So I mean, that was almost a good win by CompLexity right there.
Could this be the determining round? We think so, and Shroud is going to try to make this an early good night. He'll step in through the hut, maybe charge out through the lobby. It seems like CompLexity knows how this is going to be played out, knows that Manajuma wants to get that killing blow early, so they'll play off. D-Born still gets it, though. Sempus is down, and we're locked up here. There's Irakanji finally getting that kill. He goes down. Now everybody's dropping like flies. Sean Gares and Anger have to bring down 5 by themselves. He sees Miniker. Here's his opportunity. There's 1 kill. Shot in the back. Irakanji's dead. Excuse me, Anger's dead. 16-10. The giant killing mission is complete. Manajuma wins it. They split their day 1-1.